So today I'm making a video on what it feels like to be undiagnosed. Yep, I'm going there. All right, so it feels like no one believes you. It feels like you're making it up, but you're not. Like, you go to the doctor, you talk to them, you tell them all your symptoms. They're like, oh, okay, let's check for this, 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 and that. And then they come back and all the results are normal. Every single one, normal. But you don't feel normal at all. After I don't know, 5, 6, 7 different doctors you go to, you kind of start to believe them. Like, okay, maybe you're right. Like, maybe it is in my head. Like, maybe I'm just making myself sick. I don't know. I mean, no one can find anything, and everyone says I'm normal, so, maybe I am normal. Maybe I'm just making it up myself. Yeah, because everyone wants to be sick, and be isolated from the world and not go on cruises and, travel the world and go to school and have a job and just eat normal. Yeah, because that's how I want to live. But yeah, people, you just kind of start to believe them. And then you're like, am I making this up? I don't understand. But then, of course, that fades away after, the nausea and the vomiting and, the cramping and everything else actually comes back and you end up in the hospital. Yeah. And then things start to become more real because you're in the hospital and you're shaking and, you have malabsorption. All this stuff all of a sudden just starts showing up and you're like, okay, why didn't this show up with the 30 other tests I just did with the GI doctor or the rheumatologist? Why didn't it show up then? But then now it shows up. But now you're at the hospital and they do 3 different tests and they're like, okay, well, you don't have any blockages, you don't have any obstruction, so you're fine. Just go home and give you some medicine. It's like, no, the problem is not it's not fixed. I don't have a diagnosis and I'm still sick. Just gotta take a deep breath and just hang on tight because the undiagnosed roller coaster is a pretty rocky one. And one of the worst things that comes with being undiagnosed is you can't really plan anything. I mean, you don't know if today you're going to be feeling good and then, tomorrow you're like, oh, let's go to a theme park. Maybe I'll feel good. Maybe it'll be nice to get outside and get some fresh air, But then, tomorrow comes and you're like, gosh, I feel really sick. I want to go hang out, but I can't. I don't feel good. And everyone's just like, you'll feel better. You'll feel better. Just go to the theme park and just try to enjoy yourself. Maybe you just need to just get out. I mean, you have been, in bed for a while and, you don't really get out much. So maybe you just need to get out. So then you go to the theme park. You're like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I just need to, just get out of the house and, just try to have some fun. So then you end up, or at least I end up, in the bathroom the whole time. And it's so embarrassing. Being young and having to, I don't know, it's just everyone's always like, oh, it's okay. If we go somewhere and you don't feel good, we'll just stop somewhere and you can use the restroom. It's no big deal. And it's it's no big deal to you. You don't have the cramping and the embarrassing bloating that makes you look like you're 5 months pregnant. And you don't get the sick feeling that you just get the whole time, the whole day if you don't feel good. No, you don't get that feeling. And if you did, you would not want to go out either. And quite honestly, it's just really hard just to go out in general. You know, like, I really, really, really want a job. Like, I want to try to, like, you know, save some money and be able to, like, you know, buy some nice stuff for myself and for my friends and family. But I can't. Like, what do I do? Like, I go in to the place that I want to work and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can work, but, you know, I can't work more than like 4 hours a day when I work because, like, if I get sick, I need lots of breaks, and I can't work every day because I don't get any sleep. And, like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm sick. I have, like, this illness, you know, and oh, but I'm undiagnosed, so I can't tell you what it is that is causing me to not be feeling well and miss work and stuff some days, but just believe me, like, just take my word for it. I get pretty sick and I can't work sometimes. Like, no, who's gonna believe that? Like, no one's gonna hire someone that can't work, like, you know, normal hours and who may or may not be able to come into work sometimes. Like, no. And then if you can't even tell them what it is that you're, like, dealing with, like, if I had Crohn's disease, I could be like, oh, well, you know, by the way, I do have Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease, and I need to use the restroom a lot. So if I don't feel good, you know, I'm in the bathroom and that's why. Or I can't make it to work because of Crohn's disease. But when you're undiagnosed, it's like, you can't just be like, oh, well, I have this thing going on and, you know, no one knows what it is, but I can't make it to work today because I'm sick. Like, oh, you're sick? You know, like, no one's going to believe me.